The new Triton has been built upon the existing model's underpinnings, though it has been thoroughly reworked for better comfort and performance. Under the bonnet is a new 2.4 litre 4-cylinder turbo diesel engine, which produces 133 kilowatts and 430 newton meters. That's 2 kilowatts and 30 newton meters more than the old engine, which was a 2.5 litre. In terms of styling, there's this new chrome-laden polarising front end with oversized headlights. But from the nose back, you'll notice there's strong curvature to the cabin, which is reminiscent of the model it replaces. At the rear, you'll see that the tray looks longer than it is. In fact, it measures 1.52 metres long and 1.47 metres wide, which is actually smaller than some of its rivals. In terms of payload, this top-spec automatic Exceed model has 935 kilos, which is well and truly less than the class leaders. When it comes to towing, the Triton has 3.1 tonnes, which is also less than most of the class leaders at 3.5. Anyway, let's take a look inside. One of the major gripes of the previous generation Triton was the seating position, and that's been fixed with the new model. You now sit further down into the cabin rather than sitting on top of it like you did before. Further aiding driver comfort is reach and rake adjustable steering. And strangely enough, on this top spec Exceed, we've got paddle shifters. There's still plenty of hard plastic throughout the cabin, but the way Mitsubishi has used different tones of grey to break it up makes it feel more upmarket than some of its rivals. And there's good storage, including big door pockets. The Exceed model also has satellite navigation, a reverse view camera, and digital radio. To keep things comfortable in the cabin, there's dual zone climate control. At the rear, the Triton was once a leader for backseat space, but now it's a bit cramped compared to some of its rivals. There's limited toe room, limited knee room, and limited headroom. However, it makes up for it with ISOFIX child seat anchor points. Anyway, that's enough about the interior. Let's hit the road and see whether Mitsubishi's other efforts have paid dividends. The first thing you notice when you drive the new Triton is that it's much quieter than before. There's less of that diesel clatter when the engine's warm, and there's also less wind and road noise intrusion. The engine itself is a huge improvement too. It's much more refined and there's a lot less of that low down turbo lag. In fact, there's a nice wave of torque to ride from about 1700 RPM. The engine's teamed to a much improved 5-speed automatic, which makes cruising around town a far more comfortable experience, and it also seems to settle down nicely on the highway. Fuel consumption has also greatly improved, now 7.6 litres per 100 Ks, which is among the best in the class. Mitsubishi has also added a new all-terrain system called Super Select 2. It allows you to shift on the fly, and it also allows you to keep the car in four-wheel drive when you return to civilization. The Triton's reworked suspension deals with rough terrain quite well, although the rear can feel a little bit skittish. That's the same when you're on smooth roads too. Mitsubishi's work on tightening up the steering has paid dividends as well. It's much more easy to maneuver around town and it's quicker to respond. So all in all, the drive experience has improved a lot compared to the previous generation. There's no doubt the 2016 Mitsubishi Triton is the best Triton you've ever been able to buy. It's a significant step forward over its predecessor, especially in terms of its interior finishing and the levels of refinement on offer.